Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon.
We are just,
Hello.
Good
hello,
afternoon.
good afternoon. So please bear with us because we accumulated a slight delay from the previous session, the webinar. I hope that all of you were also with us on the other side of the web. We will start shortly, just allowing people to transition from the webinar into this link. All right. So, Julie, I see that you are online. Would you like to say a couple of words to kickstart this second phase of the event on the human rights to water and sanitation, or shall I dive right in?
Sure. Just really briefly, Juliana, thanks for the opportunity and thanks everyone for joining. I hope you were able to catch the really interesting webinar that happened just before this. If you didn't, it's been recorded, and so you'll be able to watch that if you'd like to. But really great content on different levels, I think, which sharing very different experience also. A great session. So thanks, Juliana, also and Franzi for putting that together. This more private session, Juliana will explain, is really more about sharing amongst the EU-WOP project partners, so that we have more of this, exchange between us on this really important topic. Just for those who may have missed the slides, I just presented. I won't present any slides, but just to give a quick recap on the context for this meeting. We are thinking about this topic of human rights to water and sanitation in particular right now, because it is one of the so-called levers for our new phase of the EU-WOP program. Human rights to water and sanitation are always there in the background, informing, framing what we're doing, but trying to make this real and a little bit more concrete and have utilities actually engaging with this topic in a more active way is one of our objectives in this next phase of the EU-WOP program. And so we are having this series to really help us sort of grapple with what are we talking about, what does this look like, what would a WOP that is supporting the realization of human right to water and sanitation look like? Is this a purely technical thing? Is it about making things more participatory? What is the actual meaning of this in real terms on the ground? So we have in the coming, we've just signed, actually, I'll tell you what's happened already. We've just launched our second phase of the EU-WOP program, launched in the sense that we are now going forward with the EU to open up a call within the coming 6 months or so to invite new project proposals. We are inviting both new projects and extensions or expansions to existing EU-WOP projects for a coming period of 4 years. And we will be defining in the coming months the rules around that and the criteria for selection, so that potential applicants, such as hopefully yourselves, will know how to really apply to that. So that is a very exciting new phase. I think I mentioned that it's adding another 10 million euros in partnership funding directly. So quite a number of projects in total. We're aiming around 30 will be able to be funded during this period. And we aim to also have more of this kind of exchange between the projects also in the coming phase. So this is simply a call at this point to keep your eyes very much open to these conversations that we're having and to the instructions that will be coming up on how you can apply if you're interested in doing so. And I think that's enough for an introduction to the EU-WOP Phase 2 program. And so back over to you, Juliana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie. If I can ask Safa, please, to move 2 slides ahead. Okay, Safa, can we please move 2 slides ahead?
Oh, sorry. I think there is a lag because I've moved 2 slides, but it may take some time to come up on your screens.
All right. Or maybe we can
The heads up,
stop
Juliana,
sharing and sharing again. But basically just going on with the 2 words that I needed to say is that the objective of today is what Julie was also mentioning before. So it's to share experiences from the field in human rights to water and sanitation. Like Gabriela was saying during her presentation in the webinar, if you were there, she said the utilities are doing a lot already, and you are doing a lot of work, and this is a platform that EU-WOP is offering you to share the work you're doing in this field, but also try to understand what others are doing. So you may get inspired from what the others have been achieving for the next phase of EU-WOP, for example, or you may also start to discuss with other peers from different projects about their challenges and how they overcame such challenges. The idea, therefore, is not only to present, but it's actually to establish a mechanism that goes beyond this 1 hour that we have here together, and that may help you in your future work. If we can move on to the next slide, please. So the agenda for this hour that we have together is really packed. We have 8 projects that are presenting today, and we have 5 minutes per project. So if you agree with me, without further ado, we can dive right in and go to the first presentation. I'm calling you in no particular order. This is just the order in which I received the slides from you. So we will start with the first project, which is the project between Muawasa in Mwanza and Vey in the Netherlands. And we have the first speaker, which is Rukia Yange. I'm not sure if it's Rukia together with Wilbert or only Rukia. Anyway, I will hand over to you. And if you have enough bandwidth, it will be great if you could also put a video on. If not, we can go ahead in this way. You have 5 minutes. I hope you can stick to the time. And I'm sorry if I will barge in at some point for the people that run over time. Thank you. And the floor is yours, Rukia.
Okay. Hello, good evening. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you very well.
I'm trying to put my camera on, but something is not working right. I'm sorry. Okay. My name is Rukia Yange. I'll be presenting on my own because my colleague has other commitments. Engineer Wilbert Bujiku, so I'll be presenting on my own. So our project is called Capacity Building on Water and Sanitation Authority and Water and Sanitation for Magwe and Misungwi, which are satellite town, part of Mwawasa utility in Tanzania. Next, please. Okay. For us, what is meant by achieving the human rights to water and sanitation, we have different components within our project, different working areas. So this means to us that we are achieving human rights in water and sanitation, means providing clean water and sanitation to all, which is one of our, which will go forward with our objectives, where we always consider water quality first. That's why we are working on building new water treatment plants, but we also have treatment plants. But for this project specifically, we are working within an area where we, like EFD, build a new water treatment plant in order to ensure quality water. But also we are ensuring that water is well distributed to the community, but the water is sold by affordable price. But more importantly, we are working closely with the community, so we are engaging them very well. But in terms of environment, we are ensuring safe sanitation, to the community. This is done by building new toilets, because in our project, we are also working hand in hand together with Finish Mondial in Tanzania. So Finish Mondial are facilitating construction of toilets to the houses which they don't have toilets, but also ensuring that we are also engaging in fecal sludge management, where we are also having this component of poo-poo pump, push and pull pump, which is helping us in ensuring that the sanitation is safe for the community. Next, please. In our utilities, addressing this human resource water and sanitation, first is by constructing new treatment plants. Apart from what is done in Magwe and Misungwi, which is the area where we are focusing for the project, but there are other areas which also the water utilities also increasing construction of the treatment plant to increase coverage of water and distribution network. But different community also is being sensitized in order for them to be aware, where we are engaging different stakeholders, and social media also is used in Mwawasa to engage the community directly. But provision of affordable services, in-house connection, we are building DPs, domestic points, and water kiosks to ensure services are affordable, but we are more importantly also focusing on sanitation by improving fecal sludge management system. Next, please. Okay, so what are the key challenges we are encountering always? First is the limited fund to meet the demand of water utility and increasing coverage to water and sanitation. I think that will be the same to many of the water utilities, but also working culture between partners. It's a little bit difficult because for the project of EU-WOP lead partner is VEI, but beneficial partner is Mwawasa. We have additional partners which has Ambagwasa from Germany, as well as Finish Mondial, who are based in Tanzania. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to cope up with the working cultures within the partners. But also for the water utility, sometimes it's very difficult to adapt to change, because as we are moved into the digitalized world, so for the water utility, it's a little bit difficult to adapt to change, but we are still engaging them in different activities in order for them to adapt the changes. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Rukia, for the presentation. Is there any question from the group that Rukia can address immediately?
Yeah.
Please just use this opportunity to really see what's going on with the other projects and also engage with them in the conversation. So maybe now is too soon, Rukia. Some other questions will come up for you later on. Please stay with us, and we will move on now with the next presentation. So the next presentation is from the Water Operator Partnership between Helsinki Region Environmental Services and Bahir Dar. We are now inviting Arto to come up. Arto, you with us?
I currently don't see him in the participant list, but we can skip for now and
And
go
then
back
let's
later.
see
He's coming.
later. Yeah. All right. So Franz, if you can move on then to the next, I will. Okay, so we have now the Water Operator Partnership among eThekwini and Hamburg, and I would like to invite Mandla and Christian.
Yes, we are here. We are live.
Okay, all right, good that you're with us.
That went faster than we've expected. So yeah, hi. This is Mandla
Just to keep you on your
Malakwane.
toes.
Pardon me?
Just to
Can we
keep you on
start?
your toes, the floor is yours, Christian.
The floor is ours. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. So we will rush through this presentation as quickly as possible. Yeah. This is Mandla Malakoana. Yeah. From Itiquini Water and Sanitation Utility in Durban. I'm from Viva Con Agua. Yeah. A wash NGO based in Hamburg. We are additional partner to a water partnership between Itiquini and Hamburg Wasser. So, Mandla. Yeah, and maybe you can skip to the next slide.
That's right.
Next slide, please.
No, thank you very much. As Christian has introduced me, I'm talking 17 hours away from Etegwini, and we are live from Hamburg, Germany, in the pursuance and in the pursuance of our partnership with GEOPA, and also, with our partners here. Like looking at the questions that were sent to us, even though we shall not be delving so much into details, but we'll touch here and there, responding to the question of what is meant by achieving the human rights to water and sanitation, and doing that, welcoming all of the people on the platform here. I've seen people from Mali and all over the world, and indeed, I'm saying that in our case, as the Etegwini Water and Sanitation, we do recognize, and also as South Africa, recognize the human rights, the basic human rights, as they are entrenched in the South African Constitution. And if you visit our Constitution, you'll find that in terms of Section 27, subsection 1B, it is asserted that everyone has the right to have access to sufficient water. Other people tend to make a mistake by saying that you have a right to have access to free basic water. It is to sufficient water. And as an organization, we have always ensured that we recognize that very same point, and we never lose that one, considering the mixture of the people and the amalgamation of the people that we have. And of course, we recognize that achieving the human rights to water and sanitation is the recognition that all people must have reliable, we talk reliability, equitable, we talk equity and equitability, and sustainable access. We talk sustainability to clean water, to clean water and sanitation services that respect their dignity and enable them to live healthy lives. The provision of water services is about the recognition of the dignity of the people. In essence, we say this calls for effective governance and a resilient commitment to social and environmental justice. In summary and in aggregation, we say people must have access to clean water and sanitation services regardless of their social standing, regardless of their socio-economic position, regardless of their social or sexual orientation, to guarantee their dignity and human rights. The next slide. If I say, that's right. So, looking here, I'll move quickly on this one because Christian will talk to the next slide. We are saying, responding to the question of what is meant by achieving the human rights to water and sanitation, we say users of water services have responsibilities of being critically aware, to actively participate, and to use the resources discreetly and conserve them where possible, to report on any problems that they encounter, and pay for the services above the free basic limit. Essentially, we emphasize and accentuate the point that whilst we have the rights, but the rights go along with the responsibilities, which is why we need to educate people on that one. And individuals must play an immense and a pivotal role in ensuring that they receive adequate services by raising their concerns, using the chain of command, commencing with the ward councillors right up to the president, if the need arises, recognizing the importance of community involvement. And the last part one, empowerment of the citizens' voice through various mechanisms, including raising citizens' voice, training to ascertain that the citizens influence our policy formulation and decision-making processes. And the last point on this one, the recognition of the criticality of partnerships with various sectors to extend affordable services to all communities, including the rural areas and informal settlements. Move to the next slide. And Christian touched on that one. As I'm here, it is on the the basis of partnership and collaboration on community sensitization campaigns. Yes, Christian.
That's the point. Yes, thank you very much. So, yeah, Mandla and I, yeah, we are the project managers for the work stream 5 in our water partnership. So it's about community sensitization, yeah, to increase the willingness to pay for water, but also to make the people aware, yeah, of critical issues like vandalism, leakages, yeah, the misuse of water supply services. Yeah, so we met in the end of September, yeah, in Durban, and we achieved 3 crucial goals, and that is that we had the Raising Citizens Voice training conducted with members from all the 110 ward committees, including the distribution of 300 updated training manuals. We've identified a suitable trailer, yeah, in the periphery of Durban, yeah, that can serve as a platform, yeah, for communication and promotion of our campaign. And we've started to create a network with artists that can be integrated into the design of the campaigns, may it be the visualization, but also music, dance, theater, drama, movies showing, yeah, to raise awareness, yeah, for our topic. So what we want to try to, or what we want to achieve is by August 2025 is a development of a construction design plan for the water trailer. We already received cost estimations, yeah, for the conversion of the trailer. So we plan the process with various artists, yeah, for the design of the trailer, with artists that are well known, reliable, and that have a big outreach, yeah, in Durban. And if this trailer is converted into a mobile communication platform, yeah, it will be a water trailer that is core part of a kickoff event, yeah, in a ward, in a part of town in Durban.
The last slide, please, so that we conclude in a minute. The last slide. How is our utility addressing the human rights, water and sanitation? We have addressed that one, that it is through community sensitization or community involvement, and also having those campaigns to bridge the divide between the communities, the haves and have-nots. Our city comprises about 64% of the rural areas and about 36% of the urban areas. So we create that to bridge that divide, and we create various platforms such as the Raising Citizens Voice training, as Christian has touched on that one, to make people know about their rights and responsibilities. This relates to the raising of the awareness about the wise usage of the resources. When we talk of that one, we talk about the honest empowerment of the voice of the people, to create an honest dialogue for people to influence our decision and policy making processes. The last one is the intensive and massive information dissemination through providing regular updates to policymakers, such as your councillors and ward committees, and through the various media platforms, including in-person community engagements, as a way of ensuring that there is the synergy created between the engineering field together with the soft areas, such as giving out the information to the people. So we do that by ensuring that we create all of these platforms. The last slide as a way of saying thank you. Can we see the last slide? As a way of saying together with Christian, thank you. As you can see, the key challenge is one, affordability. Our colleague, the previous speaker, has spoken of the affordability levels. That actually seems to cut across all over, not only Africa, but throughout the world, because like I've spoken of 64% of our area being being comprised by the rural areas, and also the city, in the city 36%, so that the unemployment rate being high, that actually creates a problem. The population explosion or migration of the people due to the proactive organization stance in addressing communities' challenges. Our success has led to more people being attracted from the far-flung areas to eThekwini. You know, when you deliver, you attract more people because of the hope that indeed their plight in life will be addressed. The very last challenge challenges, the budget constraints, and in terms of the infrastructure, population explosion, population migration actually has got implications on our infrastructure. We have a challenge of having to expand the new infrastructure service provision while having to maintain the infrastructure that we have. And we also have the challenges of meeting the immediate expectations, because when people come, they actually expect services, water services to be provided immediately. But despite that, we do everything humanly possible to ensure that human rights are recognized. I think we can say thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the
As a team.
attention. We know that behavior change takes a long time, and so we did 5 minutes each with the presentation.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
it was very nice to see you together in Hamburg. So thank you, Mandla and Christian. It was really engaging and interesting to see what you. So we can forgive you, no, for going a bit over time. Okay,
you.
thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
Is there any question
Appreciate
from the team of the EU-WOP, other projects they would like to ask questions? Not yet. Okay, so we move on with the next presenter. So I would like to call up Nagandwe Chama. I'm sorry if I'm misspelling your name. Let's see if Nagandwe is online. Is Nagandwe Chama online?
I currently don't see his name in the list. No. Maybe through another account.
Yeah.
Speak up if you're there. If not, let's see also who's next on the list.
Okay, so let's see if there's a presenter from Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company Limited, Caroline Odero. Is Caroline online?
I'm in on her behalf. Huh?
Okay, all right. I'm sorry then, can you please introduce yourself with, because maybe I don't have the right name.
Yes.
And I want to do justice. So Joel, yes. So let's,
yes.
now, Joel, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm Joel Obunga. I'm the Sanitation Development Officer at Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company. From our section, we call it the Pupua section. We exist to serve the low-income areas within Kisumu City in Kenya. So that's who I am, and on to the presentation. Let's move the slides, please. So what do we mean by human rights to water and sanitation in the aspect of Kisumu? WASH services, that is water sanitation hygiene provision in Kisumu, we provide drinking water that is easily accessible, even in the low-income areas. It is safe in terms of quality. It is acceptable. It is affordable in terms of cost, and we provide it to all without any discrimination. Tying to that fact, we have the Kenyan Constitution under Article 43 that gives every person within Kenya the right to reasonable standards of sanitation, right to clean and safe water, and in adequate quantities in terms of availability. That is a basic human right in our Constitution. In addition to that, we have the Vision 2030 in Kenya that emphasizes that all Kenyans should have access to water and improved sanitation by the year 2030. To tie the two, the Kenyan Constitution, that is Article 43, and what we are doing as a utility to bridge this gap, to make it practical that all citizens should have access to water and sanitation, we have in place what we call the strategic plan within the company. This strategic plan runs between 2023 to 2028. It's a 5-year strategic plan. And in the plan, we have elaborate plans on how the low-income areas can be reached and all the underserved areas with regard to water and sanitation. Apart from that, we have a Pupua policy. This is a policy that gives guidelines and frameworks on how we can reach the low income, the poor households in the informal settlements. We also have a social connection policy within the utility. Those who cannot pay for the water connection upfront, we onboard them at a free cost, but they pay for it later in terms of what we bill them, their monthly bills. We also have a gender equality and social inclusion policy, the GESI policy, that ensures all, irrespective of their background, have equal access to opportunities. Then what are we doing to address human rights and water sanitation issues? As a utility, we are focusing on equity. That is, those in low-income areas are given priority. More of the resources in our budgets are centered towards the poor than those in the urban settlements. Then we have continuous community engagements. Those are public participations. And in our community engagements, we involve all the local leadership of these communities. We involve the CHVs, we involve the local leadership, the village elders. They come, they address their problems to us, and we have a continuous process where we give them feedback on those we cannot address within at the very moment. Then for those we can address, we onboard them and ensure all their complaints are addressed. Then we have what we call the targeted subsidies. This is just specifically for the low-income areas. We have a tariff that is regulated by our regulator, WASREB, in Kenya. For the domestic consumer, pays 83 shillings per unit. But now for the low-income areas, we have onboarded what we call water kiosks. This is offering water at a very, very low cost. That is 2 shillings for 20 liters. And they pay for this service at a subsidized fee compared to a normal consumer of our water. Then we have what we call the delegated management model, the DMMs. This is a community-run program that provides water and sanitation services at the local level in the communities. So then we have technologies. At the moment, we're onboarding what we call the smart meters in our kiosks. So there's very, very minimal interaction between third parties who escalate the cost of water services. So water is freely available and it is smart meter. That means non-revenue water is highly controlled using such a model. Next slide. Then what are the challenges we're experiencing as a utility? And I've given the solutions to the challenges we face also. We have customers who cannot pay for water and sanitation services. In such instances, what we have done, the social connection policy I talked about, favoring those who cannot afford such services. Then we have partnerships, PPP. We have institutions who have signed MOUs with us as a utility to offer loans to those who cannot afford to pay for water and sanitation services. So if you cannot connect to water, you can go to FRO's microfinance and you are given a loan at a subsidized interest for you to access water and sanitation services, specifically for the low income areas. Then we have the market-based sanitation, which is done by one of our partners, Finish Inc. This is whereby they go to the local communities and the communities are sensitized. They're sensitized so that they may know the importance of having safe sanitation, for instance. Then they onboard it, they know the problems, the challenges that they undergo in case they are having poor access to water and sanitation, and their lives are enhanced once they're on board safely managed sanitation. We have challenges in adherence to hygiene measures in our low-income areas. Hand washing is still a challenge, especially after visiting the toilets. We have water that reaches the consumer in some instances when it is not of the right quality. Bursts may happen, leakages may happen along the distribution chain. How do we address this? We have a water safety plan in place. So we monitor, track the water right from the catchment, the source of the water, to the consumer, just to ascertain the consumer gets the right quality in terms of water that he is drinking. Then we have a sanitation safety plan. This one is still ongoing. We want to monitor all the wastewater and all the fecal sludge that finds its way into our treatment plants. A sanitation safety plan manual is currently being developed by the utility. Another challenge we have is lack of prioritization on sanitation. So much attention is given to water, and Kisumu is not different. Our water access in the LEAs is currently at 92%. Our sewerage coverage, on contrast, is at 18%. Notice that difference. Our safely managed sanitation is currently at 59%. And how do we bridge this gap? We are doing resource mobilization through financial proposals to expand sanitation services to those who cannot access sanitation, better sanitation. Then we have resource mobilization for water provision. This is specifically to those areas that are unserved. Another challenge is high water tables, the loose soils and flash flooding that happens when there is heavy rains. To address this, we have onboarded partners who are doing container-based toilets. And we are also sensitizing the community to raise their pit latrines above the ground so that in cases of heavy rains, the droughts, the famines, the heavy rains, such like scenarios, all their sanitation facilities are not affected. So we are doing container-based toilets via a partner as a climate resilient sanitation infrastructure measure to curb the losses that our poor people in the low-income areas undergo. They don't have proper structures in terms of sanitation. Then another challenge is inadequate data on sanitation. To address this, we are doing what we call custom identification survey. We are mapping the baseline data of all sanitation facilities that we have in Kisumu. Apart from this, we are soon putting our data on SaniTracker. SaniTracker is an app that has been developed by the regulator, WASREP. All sanitation data, right from the user interface to the end use product and recycling and reuse and reduction, shall be monitored on the SaniTracker app. At the moment, we are onboarding the M-Water as a precursor to bridge the gap on data on sanitation. So all our sanitation data, you will also find it on the M-Water app. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joel, for the presentation. Is there any question to Joel? No? Okay. So before we move on with the next speaker, we are running behind schedule because you have a lot to say, and it's good also not to cut you off. Is there anyone that really has to leave, any of the speakers that has to leave in 15 minutes? We can allow them to speak now. If not, we will continue with the lineup that we prepared. Okay, so nobody is saying anything, so we continue with the next speaker from Bangladesh in the water operator partnership between Dakawasa and VEI. So MD Abdul Mazid, please could you unmute yourself and even eventually put the video on? Hello? Yes, please. I see that you raise your hand. You don't have to. You can just unmute yourself and the floor is yours. You're still muted. MD, you're still muted. In the meantime, just to remark that there are some questions going on in the chat. So it's good if the speakers, in this case, the question is addressed to Joel. So if Joel can have a look at the chat and perhaps respond there. MD, if you are not able to connect, we cannot hear you. We can move on with the next presentation. Francis, shall we move on to the next?
Yeah, Corentin already let us know in the chat that he's ready to present. So while we try to solve the microphone issue, we can be flexible and continue with Corentin. Thanks for offering. I think it would be...
Is after this one, is the last one.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. So when we switch from Bangladesh to Congo and Belgium, so then we ask Corentin Kurowski to come up for his presentation. Thank you. And if you can keep it concise, that would be really appreciated.
I try to make it in 3 minutes. I will try. So, hi everyone. I'm Corentin. I'm new at SWDE in Belgium. So I'm working only 3 months, 3 weeks. So I'm quite new, but I'll try to present you the job we've done with Congo. So I'm here to present you the project capacity building for Assureps and Interassureps in Kasai and Maniema, North Kivu. So I'm here instead of Jean Mapella, and who speaks French, and so he couldn't speak to you in his own language. So I'm here to take his place. But if you have questions, you can go and ask him. I will send you the contact afterwards. So this project contributes to SDG goals, especially goal number 6.1, improving access to drinking water. You can go to the next slide, please. Okay, no, it's this one. No, it was this one. Sorry, sorry. It was the previous one. Yeah, this one. Thank you. So how does this project works? The SWDE, where I work, provides support to Assureps and Interassureps. If you want to know what it is, it's written just on the slide. And the project contributes to sustain the impact of the previous project, which was Progeo, made by Enable Water Program. So how do we work together? We build something together. So we work on tools to face.
হ্যাঁ আমি হইতেই পারতেছি না কন্ট্রোল শিফট এম দিয়ে দেখি ট্রাই কর
Control shift. Sorry.
Yes, this was the confirmation from the other speaker that the microphone is now open. Sorry. It's good news,
Okay.
but please continue.
All right. If I'm too quick, tell me, but I'll try to speak. Okay, so where was I? So we try to build something together with Assureps. So we work on tools to face technical, economic, social, and environmental challenges. We try to share the knowledge we get from 100 years of distributing and producing drinking water in Belgium. We work with teams on the field. We try to understand the needs they have and give trainings with the help of Forem. It's written there, it's the Walloon Vocational Training and Improvement Office. You can go to the next slide, please. So that was for the context and how we work. Now I'm moving to the link between this project and human rights. So we know that to develop and reinforce water network in Republic Democratic of Congo, we will improve different human rights because it completely changes the life of the inhabitants. First, it improves their health, dignity, wealth and education, especially for women. You usually take care of water instead of going to school. So you can go to the next slide, please. So the challenges they face, they are numerous. They have to answer to the growing urgent need by increasing the volume of water. They have to be sustainable by asking a fair price, while operational costs are high. They have to manage the losses of non-revenue water. They have to ensure long-term viability of the network, and they have to maintain the social acceptation, which is really the key. If you can go to the next slide, because it's one of the main lesson they have learned from this project is that they can be socially accepted if they have a good communication of their governance and finance, and they have to be appreciated by locals. It's crucial as we ask them to pay for service now. It's really the key to communicate well with them and to be accepted there. So that was it. If you have questions.
Thank you so much, Corentin. Is there any question for Corentin and for the project? And I would like to call back also Joel to answer the question of what comprises your water app that was pasted in the chat before. All right, so if there's no question, I'll thank Corentin once again, and we go back to Mr. MD from Bangladesh to see if this time around the mic will work. Sir, is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
Good. Thank you so
Yes.
much. The floor
Thank
is
you
yours.
so much.
Please,
Having a
please
good
go
day.
ahead. Please go ahead.
Hey, can you on my video?
We cannot see you, but you can go ahead anyways.
Yeah, honorable audience and ladies and gentlemen, and having a good day. Actually, WP for scaling NRW management and proper water supply within Dhaka city and other cities in Bangladesh. It is my objective. I am a engineer of Dhaka WASA and focal person of WP. Actually, you know, Dhaka is a mega city. In a single city, almost 25 to 30 million people live in together. So it is our main challenge. Okay, thank you so much. I present in next slide. Okay, that's why you have set a vision for Dhaka WASA. Our target is to be best water utility public sector in South Asia. That's why we have set a few missions, and our main mission is to supply clean water and safe sanitation to the city dwellers. That's why we are setting few missions. Our mission is to reduce dependency on groundwater to surface water. And another important thing, we incorporate best customer friendly service to the service provider. And we have set a practice corporate culture, management, operation, and R&D also. And another important thing we have said that ensure a high level transparency and accountability top to bottom level. And another important thing we have said to improve the efficiency and reduce our operating cost. And our main target is to seek a better serve to our consumer. Next slide, please. Actually, you know, Dhaka is a mega city. In a single city, earlier I have mentioned that in a single city, almost 25 to 30 million people live in here. And that's why you have set a master plan. We have created a water master plan, and separately we have created a sewage master plan. And because our main target is yeah, we will shift. Nowadays, we are supplying at 67% from groundwater, 33% from surface water. That's why we have created a master plan, and our main mission is shifting groundwater to surface water. That's why you have taken a mega plan, mega project. That is one treatment plant. That's name is Sadabad phase 1 and phase 2. Here per day capacity is 450 mld, and another mega treatment plant, it is almost completed. Yes, its capacity is 500 mld, and one very old one, our water works, it constructed 1863. Nowadays its capacity, nowadays its production is around 15 million. And we have taken an ongoing two mega plant, that is Saidabad water treatment plant phase 3 and Gondapur water treatment plant phase 1. From this treatment plant, we will get every day from here 1000 mld water per day. Okay. And another important thing, we have set a reduction of NRW from our existing networks. That's why we have created, we have set a plan to construct a DMA in whole city area. That's why in a cluster in 210 DMA, we have already completed 155 DMA, and another 55 DMA will be constructed. You know, one important thing is in our DMA area, here NRW in a single digit, some cases 5, some cases up to 9. But you know, once time our NRW was 40 to 55 before installing DMA. Nowadays our average NRW is 9 to 10. So it is a big result for DWASA as well as DMA result. And we have set a mega plant sewage coverage system. We have a existing two sewage treatment plant. One name is Pagla treatment plant, another name is Dasharkandi treatment plant, and we will construct another 4 treatment plant in whole Dhaka city. That is name is here. You know, Bangladesh is a land of rivers, almost 700 rivers in our country. Yes, and we have 3 mega rivers which is connected to Bay of Bengal. That's why our it is easy task for DWAS as well as Dhaka city people to supply surface water to the whole city dwellers. Next slide, please. Actually, we are facing a lot of challenges in every day, but here main challenge is we are serving 25 to 7 million customer. But another thing is, you know, Bangladesh is a middle income country. That's why socio-economic condition, every day 2000 new people came in Dhaka city. That is our main challenge. And another thing is climate change. You know, Bangladesh is a disaster prone country. That's why in every season we are facing a lot of challenges. This is also our main challenge. And another big challenge is per square kilometer population is 60,000. And main thing is because new people are coming, that's why city is expanding, and our 60% city is totally unplanned. And you know, Bangladesh is middle income country. That's why to serve tariff tariff increasing, it is a big challenge for DWASA. And you know, WOP is working in a LIC, a low income community area. Nowadays, we are almost coverage 95% area of LIC area. That is our big challenge. You know, another our success story is we have installed water ATM in LIC as well as whole Dhaka city area. We have installed 450 water ATM system. People are collecting their drinking water from their ATM, and its price is too cheap. That's why Dhaka cities people are too happy to Dhaka was as well as WP. Actually, WP is our technical and technical assistant as well as our financial partner also. They are give us the sustainable of DMA and sustainable of reducing NRW as well as capacity building. Thank you so much, WP and the audience to hear me.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
MD. Is there any
Any
question
question from
from the
audience?
audience? Yes,
Yes.
exactly. I have
Yes.
the same question also. If there's any question, please raise your hand. If not, we will move on with the next presenter, which is Arto. So we go back, Francie, to the second presentation that we had on the list. And it's from the Water Operator Partnership among Helsinki.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, MD. There was no question so far.
Thank you.
Arto, if you're here and you can hear me, if you can mute yourself and show your camera, and the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry that I went to the wrong meeting, but finally I'm back here. Yeah, so I'm Arto. I'm the low income household specialist in the Helsinki region environmental services and Bahadar Water and Sewerage Services Water Operators Partnership Program. Our director who was planning to present this one cannot be presented because of the very bad security situation in Bahadar in Ethiopia. Can you go to the next slide? Okay, I can see only half of it, but okay, it's coming now fully. Bahadar is in the northern part of Ethiopia in Amhara region, and at the moment it's a war zone at the moment, and the city is located close to the Tana Lake, which is the source of Blue Nile. There are around 50,000 low-income households in Bahadar and who are still without connection. And our program is focusing on creating a system and mechanism how to support these low-income households. Okay, next one. So we consider that this human rights for water mainly the main thing is the human dignity. So everybody should have an access to the water supply, and access in Bahadar, it means to us that the water supply is there at the property level. Because then it is also physically accessible to all of the people, including the persons with the disability. And how do we create this mechanism is that to ensure that it is available to everybody, it is also affordable, it's good quality, and it's accepted. So we started to focus on the financial part of it, because otherwise it cannot be implemented. So we consider that once it is at the yard level, then the water supply is the practical application of the human rights to the people. Next one. So how did we do it? First, we carried out a willingness and affordability study, and we find out that the microcredit solution is not possible. People are too poor. They cannot afford to take a microcredit loan. So we came to the conclusion that it has to be the interest-free financing system. And we created a guideline which is focusing in the selection for the persons with the disability and also persons who are under the poverty line, which poverty line is only less than $1 per day per person in Ethiopia. So it is an interest-free loan provided by the water supply utility themselves. And they subsidize it by reducing the technical service charge from the connection fee, which actually is almost 50% of the total costs. Also, the payback time of the loan is 3 years, and the maximum loan is $100. And the initial payment, it's $10. So the community or the households, they also contribute themselves through the digging and backfilling of trenches. And then once they start to pay the tariff after they got the connection, the waste collection fee is removed from the tariff until they have paid all the loan back. So now everything is ready and we have started the implementation. Can you go to the next slide? So the first finance, which was approved by the utility, was for 100 connections. It was 1 year ago. The fiscal year in Ethiopia starts in July and ends in June. So that is now implemented, and we are starting now the second phase. Last July, the utility approved again to finance 200 connections, and implementation is now ongoing. So we have also mobilized now the team into Bahardar to assess what impact the first implementation did for the people, and after an end of this year, we will know then exactly the impacts, and then we can tell more about the human rights as well. So thank you so much. Oh, yeah, there's challenges I forgot already. Yeah, the problem is the safety because of the war which is going on in Amhara. So the internet connection is very poor. Many times it's not functioning. So the implementation of this has been a little bit challenged. And also the procurement of the materials for the connection is a challenge. Also, the same security problems is there. There is a very high demand from the community, and once this program was launched, they were eager to apply and then get approved and ready to start using their own new water supply. Challenge is also that this is informal houses, so but we solved the problem and we follow the same principle like the electricity company for the informal houses there, which make it possible. Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much, Arto, for the presentation. Again, if there's any question, please address it in the chat. We only have one last presentation that I'm not sure we will make. It depends on the presenter if he or she is here. Is the presentation from the partnership among Ghana Water Company Limited and the water supply company in Sierra Leone. Is there anyone here in the room that and also the presentation from Zambia? If we don't hear anything from you, no, so probably the presenters are not here. I will hand over to Maria Pascual for wrapping up the session. Maria, if you're still with us, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Gina. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks to everyone for the very interesting presentations. I know we are already out of time, so we would not extend now for the wrapping up. Just a reflection on how we've seen the water operator partnerships contributing in many ways to the human right to water and sanitation. When we think of human right to water and sanitation, we tend to think of access. But then we realize that, of course, that the concept is much more comprehensive. And we've seen how when it comes to all the work that has to be done in a water utility, we do not only focus on the needed infrastructure, but there is much more that can be done. And WOPs, the projects have been presented today, have actually revealed all the work that is happening when you're in the planning and management, in the legal related issues, and the financing and budgeting for allocating resources to the very important activities related to human right to water, operation and management, the selection of equipment that is suitable to enable the access, to make it affordable, all the different strategies that are being developed and implemented in order to allow not only to connect, but later on for consumers to be able to pay, to afford the price of the water that they consume. There have been a wide range of activities that have been explained, and I would like just to end this seminar with highlighting those ones that are actually enabling more knowledge in the water utilities to really face this huge challenge ahead, and the opportunity that the EU-WOP Phase 2 program will actually bring to partners that are here now, but also other potential partners, to keep working and keep exchanging knowledge on this very relevant subject of making sure that safe access to water supply and sanitation is achieved as soon as possible. So thank you very much. Juliana, I don't know if you want to close the session in any way, or is I believe the recording of the session is going to be available, made available for the group, but maybe you can explain further. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Maria. Yes, so the recording will be made available. I don't know yet in which way. I assume via the COP, the EU-WOP COP, but Francie will help me with that. I see in the chat that there was a conversation between Kenya and South Africa, which is something, the start of what we would like to see, the engagement between different projects working on similar topics. So Joel, I'm not sure he's still around here in the chat. I hope you will share your contact details with Lungile that is asking for your email, and you continue this conversation about what you've been discussing here. So thank you so much to all of you. It was a packed program. We didn't have so much time for the conversation. We would like to have more conversation with you. So also do express your interest towards the GWOPA Secretariat if you would like to see more of these sessions. We will have another session on the 10th of December that is similar to this. We have less projects dealing with digitalization, but still we will like to see engagement like we saw today and more. So bear with us. We'll bombard you a bit more with some emails asking for your contribution. But thank you so far, and I hope to be in touch again soon. Thank you.